The camera continues to roll as we zoom into the ZANU PF succession battles. I think I will keep on reminding people that from the way I see it, this is the way I see it, after observing whatever is happening within ZANU PF at the moment and in some few days. Now, from the onset, if you look, Chiwenga is not using a lot of money, is not splashing millions as Mnangagwa is doing. There are no people that are bought in his faction. But the man, even speaking, it doesn't speak too much. Look what he just spoke during the ZANU PF Politburo meeting. But look at the impact of what he has spoken. And look at the confusion it causes to the Emerson Tambuzo Mnangagwa camp. And that on its own, in my view, demonstrates that Chiwenga is winning. I will continue to show you why I hold a view that Chiwenga continues to actually score a lot of goals in this succession dispute. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So tomorrow I expect to have Traore. I saw some supporters of Traore were asking me when am I bringing him back. I'm sure tomorrow the men would be back to actually shed some light into what is politically unfolding in Zimbabwe at the moment. Now, why do I hold the view that Chiwenga is winning? Now, I've said, number one, he is not, in his campaign, he is not using money. Mnangagwa is pouring millions. And to get this sense, Mnangagwa prepares. For example, when they were going to the Bulawayo conference, a lot of preparation was done in terms of mobilizing the provinces, mobilizing, and they were doing so with money. We saw, I mean, psychologically, Mnangagwa was seemingly winning the war. But guess what? When when it was time for Mnangagwa, now after everybody has done dirty work for him at the Bulawayo conference, Patrick Chinamasa came out and poured cold water into the campaign that Mnangagwa worked on very, very hard. And not only that, look, they have started already, they are prepared. How Chiwenga does it, he beats them at their own game. They prepared a Politburo meeting, the one that was done last week, and the intention of that Politburo meeting was to actually rubber stamp 2030 by the Politburo and most probably rubber stamp the name of Mnangagwa Takurei to be part of the Central Committee. But retired General Chiwenga comes, change the agenda, and orders Mnangagwa on what to do. He says, arrest these Zukanandas. Mnangagwa says, I will not arrest them. I would rather actually resign. He said, you will do so before resigning to make sure that you arrest these people. That statement on its own, though they tried to hide it, it leaked out of the very same Politburo which Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa thinks it is behind him. Look at this. I strongly believe it's not Chiwenga who actually leaked the information that is already on the public domain. It is the ZANU PF members in that Politburo who actually leaked the information that Chiwenga gave Mnangagwa the hardest time of his life. I think ever since he came to the presidency, this Politburo, he comes into a platform created by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, speak once, and we heard that already some of the supporters within the military of retired General Chiwenga went back to the barracks. And not to start, Mnangagwa is losing this war. Now, on the following day after the Politburo, what does he do? He decides, because he was emotionally overburdened. He decides not to do the opening remarks as he usually does and went straight to the podium. Now, one would think that he would insult retired General Chiwenga to show that he is afraid of him. He begins to contradict his supporters. He urges the Central Committee to prepare to win the elections of 2028. We know that ZANU PF has never put any investment on 2028 elections. He also speaks strongly on corruption and actually threatens to crack down corruption, something that was raised by retired General Chiwenga during the ZANU PF Politburo meeting. That on its own, if Mnangagwa was a leader that should be trusted, a brave and a strong leader, that is not misleading certain elements within ZANU PF, I can attest to you, he could not have bowed down so fast and so quick. The mere fact that he had to actually change his language, it simply means he saw that Chiwenga was angry. He saw that if he continued to press him, anything was possible. Even on that particular day, his removal could have been imminent. He saw that if he doesn't speak about corruption and be seen at least speaking, even though not yet acting, definitely what will happen, Chiwenga was angry. And it shows that within the Politburo, really he meant business. Because Mnangagwa, when he was speaking about addressing corruption, he was even trembling. A video that was played by ZPC, you can see that the man is shaking. The man does not trust. He lives each and every hour actually fearful of what may possibly happen. At the moment, he is beginning to feel what Robert Gabriel Mugabe felt during the last days of 2017. So, also, the love that is given to Mnangagwa is not a genuine love. People don't support Mnangagwa because they love him. They support him because of what he is giving them. And some are even manipulating them. You see these old people wearing these napkins, what do they call these, pampers, or very, very old person wearing pampers, anointing themselves with the honey. Where have you ever seen? That is the highest form of actually madness. If one, can look at that, saying Mnangagwa, they know that when they do that, maybe Wicknell Chivayo, after being instructed by Mnangagwa, will tell him, give that one a car. But how can you go such low to get a car? And even if you get that car, will that car be in a position to benefit you? So these are the very important questions. So, in my view, Mnangagwa doesn't have a natural support. But look, if you are analyzing very, very well, even people who are in the opposition, people who don't like ZANU PF, they are behind retired General Chiwenga. Even the former supporters of Nelson Chamisa, they are now throwing their weight behind retired General Chiwenga. It's a natural support that he is actually receiving without running through all provinces telling ZANU PF grassroots what to do, because Chiwenga knows that that will not earn him presidency. He is not laying at Mnangagwa's traps. What he is simply doing, though they provoke him, he knows what to do. He knows that even in conference they can make it resolution number 1, but that will not make it a success at the end of the day. So already, I must tell you, remember I told you that according to the previous plan of Mnangagwa, they had planned to conclude 2030 by November. But from the way things are at the moment, I can tell you that plan has been foiled. And also, why am I saying retired General Chiwenga faction is winning? Look, when Mnangagwa tried to bribe Themba Mliso, he must have actually instructed Themba Mliso to come to him. I mean, secretly, and not to be seen by anybody. But guess what? The intelligence was quickly picked up. Now, what does this show you? That amongst even maybe people who are cutting Mnangagwa, or amongst even people who are within the campaign of Mnangagwa, they are actually an intel to the faction of retired General Chiwenga. In fact, those who may be twerking so hard and singing so loud, most of them may be sending the information to the other side as a means of survival, witnessing that it is a repeat of what happened in 2017. They don't want to find themselves actually outside ZANU PF post the removal of Mnangagwa, which is imminent. I must say, you know, if Mnangagwa, I mean, did not see Chiwenga as a threat, there wouldn't be all this campaign, all this paying of people money to say something bad about retired General Chiwenga. There wouldn't be that. He would simply instruct, say the structures have spoken, but he can't do that. Why can't he do that? He knows, he has been experimenting. He thought maybe by actually buying all the provinces, buying the Central Committee, buying the Politburo to push for 2030 mantra, maybe Chiwenga will psychologically back down. But this is seemingly not working. In my view, the more you try harder, the more it backfires. And from where I see, Mnangagwa will end up actually negotiating with Chiwenga. He stands a chance, by the way, to be forgiven by Chiwenga. He stands a very good chance to be. But those who have been used by actually Mnangagwa, do they stand a good chance to be free? These Ugandandas, do they stand? Owen Mutangube, I can attest to you that they stand very slim chances. That is why when Mnangagwa say 2028, no, they go back and say no, 2030, because they know that it is not Mnangagwa alone who goes down. Them, they will seriously go down. And some of them, they're still young, still having more years to come. It means more years spending in prison. And some of them, they may not even come out. Their lives may be terrible post this. So that is the whole reason why we still hear this tired noise of 2030. But from my view, Chiwenga appears to have it on this one. It's just a matter of time. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Umhlaban is signing off. Let me